Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Concession Stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of Netflix brand new action comedy directed by Seth Gordon, Back in Action, which stars Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz, Andrew Scott, and Glenn Close. Back in Action follows two former CIA spies who are pulled back into the espionage game after their identities are discovered. Now they must revisit their past in order to save their present and preserve their future. Back in Action is kind of a double, triple entendre here because there's a lot of backs into this film. Back into Action, yes, serves as the title of this film because we have two spies who are thrust back in action. Also, we have Jamie Foxx getting back into film, entertaining us, I should say, after he suffered a life-threatening medical issue just a couple of years ago. And Cameron Diaz being back in front of the camera after retiring. What? It's been a while. It's since she has been in front of the camera. I think her last film was Annie, coincidentally co-starring Jamie Foxx. And so it's been a while. And so this is truly Back in Action, and this film kind of got me a little excited. You know, I like Jamie Foxx little Netflix films that he has been putting out over the last few years. I liked Project Power. I liked Night Shift. And so I was into it. This film is directed by Seth Gordon, and I like a number of his films as well. He directed Horrible Bosses, which was hilarious. Identity Theft or Identity Thief, which starred Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. That was funny. A very, very good comedic director. And so we got this action film. Is he going to be able to handle this action globe-trotting adventure, if you will? I must say, I enjoyed Back in Action. I thought it was really good. You know, it's one of those turn on, searching for something on Netflix or whatnot. Turn it on and see what we can find, and maybe I'll be entertained. Maybe I'll just have it on in the background, but you find yourself really watching it. It's really that good. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's a reason it's dropping on Netflix. Let's be honest, people. It's not a film that like, oh man, they dropped the ball. They should have put it in theaters. No. This is where it belongs, and it is a really good Netflix film. Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz, love their chemistry. I love them on screen together. I thought it was a real fun time. I didn't really buy them as a married couple. They didn't come off as a couple who have been together for 15, 20 years or whatever and are just deeply in love with each other. It didn't come off as that. It really came off as I want to say just a excellent friendship. But at the end of the day, that's what a marriage is, but it just didn't come off. I didn't feel love, that intimate love from them. I felt love, but not intimate type love from them. But the chemistry was perfect. You could tell that they are friends, and you could tell that they get along and they work well together. And so in that regard, it was great. I love the chemistry between those two. The random of random casting in this film. Andrew Scott. I like Andrew Scott. Andrew Scott popping up in this movie, it just felt random because at times it felt like he was in a different movie. This movie is very silly, funny, comedy. And Andrew Scott is a very serious actor. Now he can be funny. You know, seeing him, he was in Fleabag on Amazon Prime. A funny guy, but I mean, like in the terms of being in the film with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz, who are known for comedic performances. I've never known Andrew Scott, and he could have, but I've never known him to be in a film like this before. It just felt random. He wasn't bad. I say that because it wasn't bad. It just felt like it was a different film that he was making as opposed to what Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx were doing. But it worked for the most part. They weren't on screen together a lot, but it's fine. It's fine. I guess you had to have that balance in a way. But the show stealer in this movie is Glenn Close. When are we going to preserve Glenn Close? When are we going to put her on her mantle that she properly deserves? As one of the GOATs. Glenn Close is an amazing actress. Glenn Close, I've seen her in every kind of film you can think of, playing every kind of character you can think of, and she's excellent in every single one. Do all her films hit? No. But does she hit in every film she's in? Yes. And this is no exception. I loved her in this film, as Cameron Diaz's mother, a strange mother. And when they popped up on screen, I'm like, of course Glenn Close would play Cameron Diaz's mother because they kind of similar. They look similar, and it just fit. It was perfectly cast there. And I loved it. As far as the story is about as genetic or generic as you can get. It is your typical kind of late 80s, early mid 90s action movie with the plot and the MacGuffin in the film that's just like the most unbelievable weapon. Why is this weapon here? You know what I'm saying? It was just weird that uh they hid this weapon. They being Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz character hid this key from the CIA, the KGB, MI6, all of these initial organizations for 15 years and nobody could find it. And it was just in a random spot that nobody thought to look. It was dumb. It was silly, and typical movie stuff. It's like, okay, really? Now all of a sudden, now everybody's coming out the woodworks. But nobody thought to look, you know, for these agents that disappeared. But that's neither here nor there. The action, really good action here. I mean, really good action. I liked how the action was directed by Seth Gordon. Um, Big action sequences, one involving a plane crash that was pretty doggone cool. Now, I would love to have seen that on the big screen. Uh, yeah, that would have been exciting. The fight sequences were pretty decent. Yeah, I had no problem with the action, and it was fun to watch that. And the kids, the two young actors who played Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx children in this film, really good. I like the family dynamic there. It felt like a real family when they were together. At least it felt like mine. It had similarities there. And so yeah, overall, I enjoyed Back in Action. I was pleasantly surprised by Back in Action. I thought that this was going to be a throwaway, I seen it once, don't have to worry about it again type movie, but I can see myself watching this two or three more times. This is it's an entertaining movie, and I highly recommend it. Back in Action, which is currently on Netflix, gets a letter grade of a B minus. Yeah, it was really good. I'm telling you, I was pleasantly surprised, people. Pleasantly surprised. But I would like to know, what did you think of Back in Action? Did you like it, or have you not checked it out yet and you're waiting to dive into it? I would love to know your thoughts. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Search for the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube and subscribe and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the Concession Stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Back in Action. Want you all to know that I love you. Continue to love everyone. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.